Whoa, okay. Told Mike to go to Got Games today, and he said it was awesome. Dude, it is. I love that place. It's super cool. The guy who runs it is a super nice guy, you know. If you go, it's like basically like it's not quantity, it's quality. He's like, he doesn't have like a ton of stuff, but the stuff he has is like really good. And that's what I appreciate about it, is he gets like some really like genuine shit in there that people really, that collectors, especially like me, like shit we actually want. You're not gonna you go to vintage stock, you're not gonna find that. You might find some stuff, but it's usually stuff that's like uncommon or common or uncommon and overpriced or whatever. But like at Got Games, he actually gets shit that people want, like people actually want. He bought a Wii from Chucky's Toys and it was gross. Yeah, everything's gross in that fucking place. I won't go in there anymore. I will not. I refuse to go in that place. It is so disgusting. Last time I went in, it was just like the amount of stains on the fucking carpet just make me want to puke. It is so gross. The dust, everything is just caked with something that looks sticky, and it's just like, and you know, and they, like I said, and their prices too. They have like there's this common like trend. I don't know, but it's this common trend of, oh, here's this game, I'm going to price it like what this game, like supposedly here's this, whatever the pricing is for this game, without taking the condition into consideration at all. So this just absolutely fucked up copy of a game they're trying to sell for the same price as one that's in good condition, and it's like, no. They had a copy of not Fatal Frame, Fear Effect? I think it was Fear Effect or something on PS1 that I wanted, that I've been looking for, and it was priced at what you would get one of those in good condition, but the motherfucker was like, the manual was all bent up and dented, and it looked like it'd been dropped in the fucking water, and it was just bad. It was just bad, and it was priced like full price. So yeah, fuck that place. That place is like nuts. I don't know what it is. It's $2,000 there. Yeah, it's $2,000 there too. And it's just, ugh, it's gross. It's one of those things, it's one of those businesses that exists for dudes to fucking hang out, and they sell shit to just pay bills. Like, it's like, that's what it's just there to keep the lights on so they'll have a place to play fucking video games and shit. It's like when you walk into it's like when this happens to me a lot. You go into a board game shop or like a game store or whatever that sells like tabletop or board games. You walk into that place and it's seriously like dude, I'm getting my ass kicked. You walk in there and it's basically like they don't expect customers. It's like, oh, what, this is just like our second house where we hang out. And I swear to God, you walk in there to look for something, it's like the whole room like turns at you like that part in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas where they're all lizards, and he says, "Tell me about the fucking golf shoes," really loud, and the whole crowd of lizards turns and goes, "What?" Like, that's what it looks like when you walk into one of those places. Like, they stop what they're doing instantly. It's like a record scratches, and they all turn to you like, "What the fuck are you doing in our hangout spot? Why are you here?" Like, that's what they do. And it's just like, oh, he wants to buy something. Okay, well, gotta pay the bill somehow. Fuck that purple stupid bullshit. Switch that was higher than a new. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. It was like more expensive than a brand new Switch, Liz. This is what he sent me a picture of. And sometimes you go into like my experience with board game shops, like tabletop and comic book shops, are the same fucking way. My experience with them is they're super friendly. Like, the guy behind the counter is, he usually usually an older dude if it's a guy who owns it or whatever. And they can be super friendly, very fucking welcoming, or they're the exact opposite, and they're elitist assholes who don't have time to help you. Like, they have zero patience for you being in their fucking store. Like, what are you doing in here? And it's like that. It's one of those two extremes. Like, that's always been my experiences with this fucking places. I don't get that shit, It is gatekeeping and shit, yeah. I went into a comic book store. This is one of my favorites. I went into a comic book shop once, and we go in there, and we're looking around at these comic book shops, and they're sitting there like, they don't say hi to us at all. Did not greet us, nothing like that. And it's like these 2 or 3 guys sitting behind the counter just talking about some manga they're reading or whatever. And we're walking around, and I'm looking through, and I'm not seeing like anything I want. And I finally find something I want. It's an issue like of a Godzilla comic book, right? And it's like, who the fuck knows what issue? Probably issue like 28 in like the fucking God knows what series that was in the 90s. And it's like kind of like wrinkled up. It's not the best condition because it's old, you know, it's not even in a sleeve or anything like that. It's just sitting there. It was used. I mean, it was from the 90s, you know, probably like 96. And I go up there and I take it up there or whatever. And they're sitting there talking everything. And I'm like waiting for them to say something to me. And finally one of them turns and he's just like looks at me. And I was like, how much? I was like, how much is this? And he goes, it's cover price. It's on the cover. Like I'm a forgive me for fucking assuming it might be cheaper considering the shitty condition it's in. But no, he wants to charge me new fucking price for it. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I fucking put it back on the shelf and walked out. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, you fucking idiot. But then he just turned. He didn't give a shit. He turns and just keeps talking. Like he clearly didn't give a fuck whether we bought anything or not. So it's like, why have a goddamn shop? Why? Yeah, they were kind of up their own ass, you know? And for such smart guys, you'd think they'd figure out how to be nice. I'm a fucking idiot and I know how to do that. Went into GameStop one time and, this was around the time that an expansion pack for Final Fantasy XI Online came out called Wings of the Goddess. And I was super into this game. I loved it so much. WoW was at its fucking peak at this point. I want to say maybe 2 expansion packs for World of Warcraft were out at the time. Maybe, I don't know, but it was at like, not only was it at its peak, it had reached the part where it was just monstrous, you know what I mean? It was gaining, you know, this was around the prime time of like WoW addiction, you know, WoW fever or whatever. And I guess you could say Final Fantasy XI was, you know, its competition. It was another MMO in the market, whatever, but it had come out, you know, years before it, and you know, a handful of years before it and all this, and I don't even think it was okay. I say yes, it was competition, but at the same time it's just like anything competing with WoW at the time, it was no competition. WoW was just fucking dominating. It dominated everything, you know what I mean? Like there was no point in even calling anything competition for WoW, because it's like when first person shooters at the time on Xbox wanted to compete with Halo. It's like, no, it's not going to happen. Like it didn't happen. Regardless, I went in there to get this expansion pack because I played Final Fantasy XI Online a lot, and it had come out, and I went and picked it up because you could actually buy physical copies of PC games back then. Brought it up to the counter, and the guy was like, I think he said something about like, you know, World of Warcraft has like 6 million players at this point or something. Like basically told me how many players, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. I was like, I like this game. Like that's basically all it was. Like that's all I said. I wasn't a dick or anything. It wasn't like I didn't make fun of his game. I just said, oh, I like this game. I play this one. So he's like, okay. And fucking checks me out, hands me my game, and he goes to give me my fucking change, and I go to reach it, and he fucking drops it, throws it on the fucking table before I can get my hand to it, and then walks off. And I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, you fucking sweaty nerd? It's a fucking video game. I can't like a certain game. Like, why are you being such an asshole about it? What is this sort of like territory type of like aggressive fucking behavior? Like, it's a fucking game. Quit being a fucking asshole. You're being aggressive, and you know, for no fucking reason other than the fact that I didn't play his fucking game, which he just bragged to me millions of people already fucking play. So what was the big deal? Like, what did he work for fucking Blizzard or something? Like, goddamn. Liking WoW is not a personality trait. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's exactly. He acts like I personally insulted him. Like I and he just played the game. It's like, I don't know. I don't get it. It's like, be nice, you know, just don't be an asshole. It's super fucking easy.